All right, good evening and happy Monday. So, we are going to start out tonight. I know it's really crazy and I mean, I love it. I kept going back and forth between preparing for this and then I was like, oh, I gotta message that person and they want the challenge. And this, you just want to keep doing all that stuff. But it's going to be good tonight, and it's kind of the continuation, a little bit of a couple points on the energy bus. But first, we are going to have Phil he just wanted to share a little something from one of their Zooms today that Megan just thought would be really good, just to open us up here, and then we're going to get straight to it. I know I'm never going to get to everything, but we'll continue it.
Don't worry, Mom.
Phil,
I'll
go
keep it. I'll
for it.
keep it. I'll keep it short and sweet. And so the analogy that I shared in a Zoom earlier, in a coaching call earlier, was the analogy of the speed limits. So if you're in a 35 zone, and for you Canadians, I don't know what you have in kilometers, but let's just say a 35 zone, and it's about to speed up to 55 or 45. You typically don't wait till you pass the sign to speed up. You speed up now on the way to the sign. Are y'all following what I'm saying so far? And so that's the way we have to look at the beginning of the month. The beginning of the month is the 55 zone. And we're right now in a 35. And it's easy to say, you know what? I'm going to kind of just chill out for the rest of the month. And then I'm going to start again on May 1st. But guys, what you do today is going to impact May 1st. The goal should be for us to get a sign up on May 1st, a sign up on May 2nd, and that's going to be the speed up from now to the end of the month. And so that's what I wanted to share. It was a pretty cool analogy because I think all of us can understand that when driving. And so I want to challenge you guys to speed up to 55 towards the end of the month so that you can get started next month on fire. There you go, Mom. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil. I love that analogy. And I don't know. I think it's so easy to learn from analogies or stories or whatever that is. I think that's why Jesus spoke in stories, because it's just easier to get a concept. Okay. All right, so I heard that you talked a little bit about the energy bus on Power 30. I did not get a chance to listen, but we all have different perspectives. So, okay, so first we're going to, I just thought that these are really good concepts. And, of course, we don't teach anything that we haven't already like gone through or working on. You just remember that. So, I had my VA make a graphic too. I'll put it into of all the 10 rules, and I'll put that into our Joyceburg chat. But one that I wanted to talk about was invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. So, and this kind of starts out in the book where George was saying he was just taking a thank you walk to the bus, and it really is just showing, again, reinforcing what we always say, gratitude fuels our energy, right? It's like feeding that positive dog that he talks about. So, when you've got that positive energy flowing, maybe you're doing that thank you walk or whatever that is, then that is contagious to your team, right? You want to share that with your team, and even more, you want to invite people onto the bus that you're driving, right? The team that you're building, right? So, okay, breaking it down just a little bit. You're driving the bus, okay? You're the bus driver. So you're taking the lead, you're in charge, right? So you want to keep asking people to get on the bus. And I know that seems like a really basic concept, but sometimes we stop asking people, right? So, because here's the thing, if you don't ask, then people are not going to know to get on the bus, right? We always say the worst thing they can say is no, and no really means not right now. You're going to swing back around and talk with them. And I've talked about this before, but I remember sitting with another Jewel, and she had just shared with her that one time she had messaged one of her good friends, and her friend, I mean, this is years in, right? And so her friend says to her, I was wondering when you were going to ask me. Like, do you have a friend that you've never asked? Maybe they're sitting around waiting for you to ask them to get on your bus, get on the Plexus bus, right? Join me, right? Invite them. We need to be inviting people. And sometimes it just seems so basic, but you just have to keep doing that. So, and here's the other thing, the more people that you pick up along the way, the more energy that you create on your team and on your bus. And here's something that Eric Worre said. He actually thinks it's unfair, and I have said this once before, he thinks it's unfair for us to just pick up one or two people, that we really ought to be snagging 20 at a time because that group has more energy and you can work with them. I was like, wow, that's a different perspective, right? So, because you want your bus full, you kind of want standing room only, because here's the thing, people are going to get on and off the bus. It's a natural cycle of business, right? Um, we're asking people to get on our bus, we're inviting them in for the products, we're inviting them in for the business, right? So, and here's the thing, that we all have, remember, we're the bus drivers, we all have different buses, and this is something that Alita really drove in from the beginning, but I really think it wasn't until years in that I really, probably hitting Jewel and beyond, right, was when it really sank in. Because here's the thing, we're all different. Alita comes with a different energy than Megan comes with, or that I come with. None is better than the other. We're just all different. We all have different energy buses, and that's okay. You be you, and you bring your energy, because that's the tribe that you're going to attract. So, we might build a little bit different, or just like different idiosyncrasy or whatever that is. But guess what? We all have the same long-term vision and goals, right? We want to change people's lives. We want to leave legacies. We want to leave the world better than we came into it, right? So, okay, so, and here's something else. Like, sometimes even you're going to be in chats with people. I was even reminded of this. I was in a chat with one of my level ones, and I probably talk more than I should. It's something I worked on from day one. I just say too much. I just have a lot to say. I get excited. I talk about things. Maybe I say too much about the products, like whatever it is, right? Alita will be like, just join me, right? And I'll be like, well, did you know that there not only was the chromium, but the alpha lipoic acid, you know what I mean? Like, we all, but again, you're attracting your tribe. And this particular person, she was like, this other person just finally popped in, and she was like, oh, sorry, and I this must have gotten lost or whatever, and my level one just comes right back in. She was just like, we had no conversation in this besides, oh, here's Cheryl, this is my friend, and she's interested in Plexus. And she just is like, hey, you ought to join this challenge. And she just threw the graphic out there. And I thought, well, you can't just do that. I was just like, and in the end it went, but everybody's going to do stuff differently. They're going to bring different energy. It's okay. Okay. All right. So you just want, the concept is, this is where my bus is going, and I want you to get on. We're inviting people onto our bus. Sometimes new people say, oh, can you help me with that? Because I don't know how to persuade people, or I don't know how to talk someone into it, or I'm not salesy. It's like, no, we're just inviting. We're not trying to persuade someone. Yes, we want to give them the information to make a good decision, but we're inviting them. Some people accept the invitation, some people don't. So share your vision with your team. Here's the other thing he talked about every once in a while. He reminded George, share this with your wife, share your vision with your wife. Like as you're doing this work, like share it with them too. Like, hey, you know what? We're going for a big rank up this month. Or you share it with your kids. Hey, if we hit this, we're going, to do X, Y, Z. Or just, in general, no matter what it is, just share it with them. Okay. That's just a good, that's a good reminder. Okay. Okay, number 5. Okay, there's a couple of things I'm going to say before this, but number 5 is don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. So I'm just going to give you a little preface before that. So, you know, sometimes we may get knocked down along the way, right? But the important thing, of course, is to get back up. We keep doing it. I love how they referenced Rocky in there. And you never fail until you stop trying. You know what? And someone told me, like we always say, we have little acronyms, and I had never heard this one before. Someone in Water Rogues told me fail is just first attempt in learning. I had never heard that one. I thought, oh, that's good too. Anyway, so we want to, there's going to be bumps along the way, right? Sometimes there's rough road on the bus, right? So we're going to build a mental and an emotional muscle, okay? Because our bus keeps going. We can't let other people knock us down, right? There's always going to be negative people in the world. It doesn't matter. They're just there. And sometimes they're family, sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're strangers who say nasty things on our posts, right? I mean, like there's all kinds of negative people, but what we've learned, right, is that it's really more about them than it is about us, right? So we shake it off, we move on, or maybe it's somebody who's currently on your team that is negative. You know what I mean? So they're all around us. We want to feed the positive dog, right? We're not going to take it personally, and and we're just going to keep moving on. We don't want to waste time and energy, right? We're going to drive our own bus. We can't drive somebody else's bus, okay? So that is really the preface for don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus, okay? Maybe they're supposed to be on a different bus, right? Maybe they're just not supposed to be on your bus at this time, okay? So here we go. I just really love this, okay? The more energy that you spend worrying or stressed or even angry, might I say, okay? I added that myself. That's extra credit. And the more energy that you spend there that they didn't get on your bus, the less focus and energy that you are spending, okay, on those who are already on your bus. Negative people take away your energy and your focus. So you've got people on your bus and you're letting other people stress you out, take your focus away, and all of those things, okay? And if you're worried about the people who don't get on your bus or didn't get on your bus, ready? You're going to stop asking and looking for new people to get on your bus. So it's really twofold, right? When you're not focused and you let the negativity get in, you're missing out on the people who are already on your bus, and you actually stop looking for new people to get on your bus. So it really is like a double whammy. So I really liked that because I thought, yes, we are missing out, right? And if you get caught up on negativity and rejection, it is no good for anyone. You, the team, the energy, any of that stuff. So he says, just let the people sit at the station. You can wave as you go by, you can smile, you can be friendly, whatever it is that you want to do. And it's really hard to do that with. Sometimes um, if you really believe in someone, but they don't yet believe in themselves, or they're not willing to, or whatever the reasons are, sometimes it is hard to let them go. All right. And I think that too many times I'm going to include myself, sometimes we get kind of stuck, or we're holding back, or we're really not moving forward the way we should, because you get so hung up back here, right? We need to keep going forward with the energy that we have, and they'll either catch up, um, or they won't, or they're going to sit at the station, or whatever that is. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't go back, or we touch base, or whatever that is, but we can't let them stop us. And I think too many times that happens, right? And it drains us, okay? If you do not let them go, you're draining your own energy. And then the people who are on your bus just get those seconds from you. So, okay. And let's see. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna, the next two, I'm just gonna kind of pretty much give the titles, because I want to move forward, but I just kind of wanted to go through. So then they really move on to no energy vampires on the bus. You just have to quickly address them. That is the hard work. Leaders aren't avoiders, and sometimes it might get easier, sometimes it doesn't, but you still have to be very straightforward, and you just have to let them know that we don't have negative energy on this team. We only have positive energy. So you either have to get on board or step aside. So you just have to separate them out if it is necessary. Okay. Because we're looking for positive energy. And then the other thing is that they really talked about, the bus driver, is that and she was just really telling George this, is that our certainty just has to be greater than anyone's doubt. Our positivity greater than anyone else's negativity. Okay, again, there's always doubters out there. We're not going to let the energy vampires in. And here's another hard truth. Sometimes those energy vampires, or those negative people, are like that because they don't want you to succeed, because it makes them see their own weaknesses or failures. Again, it's not about you, it's really about them. And if you can shift that perspective in your brain, it can change everything. It really can, because it's just like, oh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, you really need to change it to that, because it's their issue, not yours. You just keep moving on. And then the next one that he talks about, and it's just self-evident, is that enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes the whole bus. So we could probably do a whole thing on that. But what I really wanted to get to, since we just have a half hour, is also the number 8 is love your passengers, right? So, they talk about George had a closed heart. He really needed to open his heart, because that is where you discover your true power. And leading with that positive energy is, can be contagious leadership with others. And a lot of times leading with the heart is the missing piece. And I keep thinking about, and this is something that Keith Callahan does, and it was kind of a practice that we did. You really just need to move a lot of what you know just into your heart. And that changes the way that you talk with people. It really does. If you think about people, like if you're messaging someone or someone is on your heart, right? We talk about that a lot. Like you're moving it from just like whatever, and then you're moving it to your heart and you're just like, I was really thinking about you. And I would love to be able to share whatever it is that it's different when you're talking from the heart, isn't it? And when you think about that stuff before you message or um it really does change everything. And they also talk about that the heart actually has an electromagnetic energy field. People around you can feel it because someone walks into a room and they, you can feel that, but your heart has an electromagnetic energy field. So, and and they also talk just a little bit about like being open to seeing things. And I think about that as seeing things even with the heart, right? Um, and she even talked about like if we're open to the signs, God wants to bless us, right? He'll move heaven and earth for us, right? If we've got that in our heart and the right people will show up, obstacles will disappear. And this is my gift. Like I can love people, and so maybe someone else can recruit 50 people, but I love people. And that is one of the things that makes me successful in the business. So, if we can attract them, then you love on them. And guess what? Like they'll be with you forever. Okay. But I'm jumping ahead. So it was so funny. So Joy, the bus driver, says this. She goes, if you have any doubt, throw it out, sugar. And I loved it when she called him sugar. Like it was just the best thing ever. And I just thought that that was funny. So, and George was just like, I don't know, this love thing and business and, like we have to be love magnets. So that was really funny, like the way that he kind of brought that around. But really, this is the thing. Like we need to love our customer. Again, we've got these people on our bus already, right? They're actually the easiest people to convert to business builders or just love on and keep as customers. And um and we need to share this love really generously. And um your team and your customers just really want to know that you care about them. That's what loving them means. And they want to know that you're really concerned about them, that you really care, that you want them to succeed. You can see their future and it looks great. They just want to know that, right? And if you love and you care for them, they're going to stay forever. And guess what? They're going to tell other people because things that we love and where we feel love and care for, we share with other people and they bring people along and they're loyal to you and they refer you out to other people, right? And because people do business with people that they like. And we talk a lot about our team being different, and I know that there's a lot of people in Plexus who have amazing teams. So of course we think we have the best one and we really do care for people in a special way. And and what Joy talked about is that enthusiasm gets people onto the bus, and it gets them excited about where we're going, but love is what keeps them on the bus. So, and George was like, okay, that sounds all good and well, but like, how are we going to practice this? And, you know, it really is like a process. Like this isn't going to happen instantly, right? We want to help people shine. We want to bring out the best in them. We want to bring out their strengths, right? And then what happens is when that happens, the value of the entire team goes up. Like it's incredible. So you're adding, you're bringing out the value of this one person, and then everyone rises, right? And and it allows that person to shine. We want to empower others. We want others to shine as leaders. And then, of course, Joy reminded George to love his wife too, right? So I thought that was really sweet as well. And just real quick, I'm going to run through the 5 ways that that they talked about for loving your passengers, your team members, your customers, whatever you want to say. Make time for them. Okay. Boy, man, you know, actually carving out time for someone and being fully present, wow, that's a huge gift, isn't it? Because so many people are so busy, they just can't carve out time, right? So really nurture your relationship with them, spend time with them, get to know them, right? Be present with them. In body and mind, like be there. Don't be thinking about the laundry or the post you have to do or the cut or whatever else it is. It's on your to-do list. Be fully present. Um, Focus on them and they will feel it. So number 2 is listen to them. Ooh, the art of listening, right? Like really listening so that you hear, right? And listening to their ideas and their needs and we want people to share their ideas because trust me, we could use, I mean, everyone has good ideas and it just is showing caring when somebody is heard, like that means a lot, right? So the third one is recognize them and not just, I mean, we do shout outs and do all those other things, but recognize them for who they are and what they do, right? And and just honor them. Write notes. Like that's something that people don't always do too. Take time to just write a note, like handwritten, right? And praise them for doing right things. We just want to feed that positive dog, right? Number 4 is serve them, right? It's servant leadership. And when we want to serve like their growth, their future, their career, their spirits, like just their position on the team, whatever that is. And you know, that just brings joy to them. It lifts their spirits. And when their spirits are up, their energy's up, and then the team is up, and then there's value. And then it's just like a snowball effect. And then they love being on your bus, right? And then the more you serve them, the more it brings out good things in them. And then, of course, number 5 is bring out the best in them. When you love them, you want the best for them, and they in turn want to do their best for you and the team, right? So again, discover their strengths, utilize those strengths. And the whole team benefits from this. So let's just help them shine. So really look at that. I got a minute left. I managed to get through all that. And so I hope that you that meant that works well with just a kind of like a little wrap up. Although there is more with the energy bus, but this kind of leads me into at some point here I'm going to do. I just didn't think. Well, I don't know. I'm going to do a like customer service type retention straight talk. So yeah, so I hope you guys finish strong, bring the energy, not necessarily the hype, just be you and yeah, that's what I got for you. Have a good night, have a good month and then let's start strong like Phil said, okay? All right, you guys have a great night.